And I'm back. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Watch on my reviews. This is your boy James, where I'm here to give my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. It's not going to happen in this video, but that's all right. We'll live to fight another day. Joining me as always is my co-host, Mrs. Besh. I'll say what's up to her.
Hello, welcome in. I'm glad to be here. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to both of our channels. And then we got to talk about these damn people.
Right. Yes, subscribe to both channels. Mrs. Best channel, her information is my description box. We cover on her channel, Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, and also Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, which are both currently on and playing. So if you guys love those reality TV shows the same way we do, catch our reactions and our recaps on her channel. We are definitely killing it in that one because when I tell y'all, everybody get it in that video, everybody get it. Hey Jim Bunny, I saw your comment first here, love. We appreciate you being here. Thank you for always supporting me. I do appreciate it. And I know some of the others that were in my last live, which is Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. If you missed it, go back and rewatch it. We left no crumb on the table. We went in. So you guys do not want to miss that. So this video, however, is Belle Collective Season 5, Episode 6, 99 Problems, Brunch Aint One. I beg to differ, but hey, that's just me personally. I beg to differ because the brunch is one. It absolutely is. So, the episode opens up with everybody meeting at Letitia's home, aka her enterprise. Because I'm telling you, we see her at the enterprise floor, we see her at her house. Everyone parks there because they're going to get on the shuttle bus, and it's only the couples. So we have Cliff and Latrice, we have Akeisha and Willie, we have Sophia, Soguchi, Shantae, and JJ, and of course, Letitia and Glenn. So they're all going to be on this I don't know who this company is, but when I tell y'all the Facebook matriarchs of the Facebook page for Belle Collective was zooming in on cuts in the fabric of the bus and looking at chips and stuff, I said, y'all ain't right, y'all ain't right, y'all ain't right. Because that's all I could look at watching this episode. But they're on the Sprinter bus, and New Orleans is only like a 2.5 hour drive from Jackson, but it took them very long to get there. So they're on the bus, and the first thing they talk about is when Cliff went to go see Letitia at her enterprise. And she said, yeah, Cliff came to see me and he was telling me things that I didn't know about my husband. And Latrice was all like, when'd you go see Letitia? Why you go see Letitia? And he was like, oh, well, Glenn told me to go talk to her, about, his entrepreneurship. And that's when Letitia let it out the bag that Glenn has quit his job and is trying to go to some entrepreneurship that she doesn't know about. And Glenn in his confessional said, I don't have a plan yet. So as soon as I get things in the works, that's when I'm going to tell Letitia. And I said, that is where you mess up, and that is when you're wrong. Because y'all are married. You cannot make those kind of decisions when you are married and you have other people counting on you, i.e. your son. That is not how that works, sir. I don't know where you think that was okay to do. And Letitia is handling it way better than I would have if my husband told me one day, oh, I just quit my job and I don't have a plan. So to me, my first question would have said, okay, well, then what the fuck are we going to do? Or are you about to move out and divorce me too? That's how I would have handled Mrs. Best. How would you handle that? I just want to know as a married woman. Hey, Joseph Felton, thank you for joining us.
My bad. I'm on the StreamYard app, y'all, on my phone. How would I handle Glenn and Letitia's? Well, number one, I'd like to say I would never. I wouldn't still be married to a man like that. Number one. Number two, I don't buy it. Word on the curb is Glenn was actually fired, and now they're trying to. Oh, I want to be an entrepreneur. If he's talking to Cliff about being an entrepreneur, fine, I'll take it. But if he's planning to be an entrepreneur with his wife, absolutely not. Go get a job. UPS, Target, Walmart, go work somewhere. I don't know. Glenn and Letitia's marriage to me is somewhat of a joke. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to talk down on another marriage, especially another black couple's marriage, but I don't take this couple seriously individually or together as a unit? Why are you talking about private marital matters on a bus with other couples? Why are you just now talking about this on camera for the first time? Why does Glendale never wear clothes that fit in terms of his shirts? I just don't understand what's going on with these people. Thank you, Jen Bunny. That was my next point. To be an entrepreneur is a very broad statement. An entrepreneur at what? In what industry? What do you do? Are you like me and James? Do you have something you could create an LLC for? I charge for music reactions and reviews and stuff. Are you doing that? Do you have a hustle, as Jen Shaw would have called her so-called business? She was an entrepreneur too. Turned out she was defrauding the elder and all of that. So, like, what do you do? Are you a store owner? Do you make clothes? Like, what are you gonna do, Glenn? Because you can't rap, and that's not ever gonna go anywhere. Nobody's going to come to you or your wife for workout or relationship advice or any of that. What are you going to do? So I'm getting tired of these two in general on this show. I don't feel like they bring enough to it. This is supposed to be a show about Southern belles who are entrepreneurs and women in business. And we don't see what's really good with Letitia and Quinn and Glenn. I feel like they're both full of it, and I just don't care, to be honest. But the way that they both handled it was inappropriate. Don't ever send, if my husband ever fixes himself to send one of his raggedy ass friends to me to tell me something about him. Oh, he's going to start a new job, he's going to start a new this. My husband better not ever send not one of his raggedy ass friends to me to talk to me about his life, his jobs, or our relationship. He bet not. And some of them watch the channel. Absolutely not. But at the same time, my wife better not be questioning and talking about me in front of other men or doing things that she does. I don't think she respects him. I don't think he respects her. I think they're together because they've known each other so long and it's familiar. But yeah, I'm tired of them. Right. She said, "What's your business plan?" He don't know what a business plan is, Jim Bunny. He
No,
thinks
he
he's
don't
just
because
gonna
he couldn't
quit.
even answer the questions that she was throwing at him because he doesn't have that plan. Now, I do believe a box truck is freight. I think that is what he's trying to get into, which is a booming business. I'm so sad that that reality show never got picked up on a network that explained it because they had a great way of explaining exactly what it is and how you get into it. But the thing about it, what gets me is him wanting to do that. You just said that you being away, you wanted to stop doing that. That was the whole reason why you quit your job allegedly. So why do freight when that also could take you away from your family too? You guys understand? People who do freight sometimes have to go out of state for days. Like I had a
Mhm.
cousin who, he's no longer here with us. He did freight. I also in Florida, I worked for a manufacturing company where I met a lot of the drivers who did freight as well. They're away from their families, and I worked with a girl. Her husband did the same thing, and he was gone for maybe 16 days out of the month. So I don't know what he's trying to do. It's very unclear, and the fact that he couldn't give Letitia even a solid answer about buying the box truck. He couldn't even give her an answer on that. So it was kind of like, well, then what are you doing, Letitia?
He's comfortable on television because he's probably getting some type of a check or has been able to do something and get a brand deal on social media or something. I think he got comfortable being on TV, kind of like Dr. Wendy on RHOP. And he's
Yeah.
like, well, I'm going to quit my job if he didn't get fired, because the word on the street is he really got fired or laid off, not fired. But I
Mhm.
don't know. He just, I don't think that he really going, they're lying about something, per
You
usual.
know, and there's who else is like this is Phaedra. I think Phaedra wants to be a reality TV star despite her being an attorney, despite her having several other businesses, despite her, being the mortician or whatever.
Don't you compare Phaedra, who's highly educated and does not need television, even without her bar license to practice law, even without her mortician license to work in funeral homes, which she has both of. This woman has enough degrees to do something somewhere. I like that's the reason, no shade. Like nothing's wrong with being an entrepreneur, nothing's wrong with not having the education. But Glenn and Letitia, they talk so much about how they're pillars in their community. They do so much. She's a boss. He takes care of the family. But we don't see shit. I think he probably really did get fired or laid off. Why? For two reasons. One, Mississippi is the worst rated economy out of all 50 states. They are at the very bottom. Not getting at the people, it's not their fault. So I say that to say starting a business out there would be much more difficult than starting one in a state like Utah or something. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. The person I was comparing to her to Phaedra to was Dr. Wendy because you mentioned Dr. Wendy.
Oh, wait. But
That's what I'm saying. Like they want to be reality TV stars more so than, or something in entertainment more so than their actual careers. Is where I was getting at. And
Phaedra
the thing
can afford it, and so can Wendy. These people can't. They're in a place where they're in
well,
an
no, this
the
episode
state
taught me that they
itself
could.
has a bad economy. It's going to be 10 times harder for them to do stuff. I think that Glenn got fired or laid off because of the economy, but he also could have been fired because to film takes up a lot of their time. When
Yeah,
you're in the work that he was in, they're not going to be okay with you just calling out and constantly on PTO and things like that. It's an at will state. They're going to get rid of your ass. So I feel like they may have gotten rid of him, but I don't like these people, James. I
I
just
know you.
don't.
I know you don't. And this episode proved to me that Glenn the teacher didn't have money. And I'm gonna get to one of my points about it in just a moment here.
Oh,
But
damn.
yeah. So they go to a plantation. It's a very large plantation. I believe they had somewhere around 1,300 acres, which is huge. And what cracked me up about this plantation is that anytime you visit a plantation, I've never seen someone of clear being our tour guide. I've never seen that. Anytime I've seen a video or a documentary, it has always been someone of a black presence leading, history segments of slavery and telling us the story. So it coming from her was just kind of like it was kind of like Kalon on season one, talking about Thomas Jefferson. It was kind of like that fits. This didn't fit me, but I'm gonna let it go because she was very good at her job and did exactly that's what I'm gonna talk about, Jim Bunny. I'm gonna remind me when I get to that point. That's what I was talking about. But but yeah, so she gives them a tour, and they really are feeling it. They're one of the moments where they had a real humbling moments when they went into the church, and they were talking about how the church was donated. The times of slavery, it's very old, and it's very prominent. So the congregation donated it to the land and they're able to showcase it. And they all had a hit moment. And once again, we have to come back to Fair Street, which I feel like I'm tired of y'all bringing that up when this show has been on all this time and only one of y'all has able to actually get a space in there. And we still don't know if that space today is up and running. And it's not, and it's also not a space of it would give historical value. I think Akeisha and Willard opening up one of their businesses that's in New York. They're going to open one in Mississippi, which a business is a business. Don't get me wrong, but I still want to see some historical landmark of this street. And I feel like if y'all were going to bring that up and relate it to this, it needs to be something substantial.
I don't understand. I have no problem with seeing plantations on television because I think it's an important part of history. It also spreads awareness. But you guys are in Mississippi, one of the worst states for slavery. They were all horrible, but Mississippi really, really, really uh, has an interesting history when it comes to it. Why are y'all just not showing us plantation? I don't
I feel
understand
like
that
we
part.
were on a plantation season one. Wasn't Kalon? I'm gonna have to go back and watch season one. Y'all can comment in this, and or if anyone's in the chat, weren't they on a plantation, Latrice and Antoinette, when they went to go visit Kalon? Wasn't that a plantation? I don't remember. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. But I feel like
I
they
mean,
were.
one where we're actually going to get the history and someone's actually speaking
I see what
about
you're
the
saying.
things that unfortunately Black African Americans had to go through. They didn't show anything to us in like a historic or educational way. They didn't do that until now. I'm glad that it got done, but y'all so busy hooping and hollering and acting a fool that it's like, okay, now you want to do this. I'm just feeling like Letitia's trying to find ways to be relevant and show that she cares about the South and her history because nobody takes her seriously when it comes to the Ferris Street project because she was talking about it season one, was never able to do shit with it. And Akeisha's the one who was able to do something with it. And it seems like Letitia will, instead of going and trying again, showing that she cares, which I think we would respect if Letitia was trying and failing over and over with getting something going on Ferris Street, because that shows that you care. Like sometimes it's best to try, even if you don't succeed. But I feel like she's just trying to find other ways to like be connected to the audience in a way of like historical things in the South. I appreciate her for doing this. I just wish like someone else would have took us there. Like she just, cause I know some of these no shade and I'm gonna say it, y'all can cancel me if you want. Some of these ancestors is rolling in their grave at some of the shit that Letitia and Glenn have had go on within their marriage and that we've seen on this television show. So I'm like, I'm glad that she showed it to us, but I want to see more of Letitia actually doing stuff that aligns with this, like when they're in Jackson, Mississippi versus, just because they're on a cast trip or something. Like, show us that. I don't know.
Right. I
But
agree.
okay.
I 100% agree because it just seems inauthentic. And then, as I said, I don't knock the lady who, the tour guide, I don't knock her at all, but it just rubs me wrong when someone who is not Black leads tours like this.
How much did Black people pay to this clear person to show us our history that
Yeah.
her ancestors fucked over our ancestors with? I'm not saying they have to mistreat her, but how, look, come on now.
It would have made me, I'm going to be honest with y'all, it would have made me uncomfortable. It would have made me uncomfortable to hear her say all of these things that she said about the history of the plantation. She said good things. I'm not saying anything she said was wrong, and she did a great job explaining, the architecture of the home. Like I think that was an amazing observation to point out because, like he said, like the White House, absolutely, that was another poignant point to point out as well. I love that as well. But it just, for me, it just felt uncomfortable for me to watch that and actually see that. And not to say, I'm not saying it's equal opportunity for people to have jobs. I get that's her job, but it just would have made me uncomfortable because I'd have been like, "Ugh, this is nothing." Because, as I said, any type of historic landmark that has to do with African American history is typically always led by African American people.
We don't
That's all.
need to see white people continuing to lead a place where white people led Black people into hundreds of thousands of years of pain and suffering. We still see people behave in certain ways as a result of slavery, even though it was so long ago. So people talk about things like in California, reparations were approved and things of that nature. Instead of a check, give the reparations and the fact of hiring African American people to show people about their history. That would make sense. I do appreciate though the fact that there was a Caucasian woman who did understand and recognize the ingenuity, the intelligence, and the struggles that Black people went through. But I would have also liked to see African American people working there on the staff. Or at least to show them around. But I'm glad that Letitia did try to do something positive, because the rest of the episode was not so positive. But I am glad that Letitia made the effort to think of something like this to do. So I will give her that.
I'm gonna give her that as well. I think she did an amazing job with bringing awareness to the screens, which we appreciate. So we'll go ahead and move on from there. The next thing they do is go to their Airbnb or their vacation rental. They all are going to be there. I think also with Marie Tambra and Selena, but they're not there yet. They'll be at the brunch, and they all go to their assigned rooms, and the rooms look nice. It was an okay Airbnb, something that I can get to. Directly, but we focus on Latrice and Cliff. They're into it about the businesses and everything like that because Cliff originally didn't want to go on the trip. But because Latrice needed his support, he actually, went ahead and did that. But they're into it very badly about everything. And she said, and he told her, well, you can go find you another room. And she said, I ain't gonna leave this room. You'll leave this room for I will. He said, no, I told you to get up and find another room. So Cliff walks out the room, and then we have this very dramatic scene of him drinking a beer on the front porch. And I'm like, oh, these two. I can't. How did you feel
They need
about
to go ahead and just divorce. But I get the energy that there's no prenup. He probably thought, oh, this little girl will stay with me forever. I don't need no prenup. And she probably didn't think, oh, what if I decide to do something within the marriage? I feel like the only reason she is still married to him is because he may have a stake or claim, especially in the South, because the divorce and marital laws and all that is different there. I feel like she's staying married to him because she don't want him to have her goddess lengths or have a right to it. And Cliff does give somebody who in a divorce, he's already an asshole. So you have to think if he's getting a divorce, he's gonna be a double asshole. But I don't get it. They don't hold hands. There's no affection. There's nothing there. Like they don't get along. I don't think they like each other. She probably still sleeping in her wing of the house and he probably still sleeping in his wing of the house. But I don't think that they're actually like good together no more. I just don't. But she's so
I never
insecure,
thought they
she'll
were good
probably never
together.
leave him.
She's another example. She's another one of our, Brown Wins and Ashley Darby's and all of them who marry, men that are older and, because they're probably somewhere down the line, there's daddy issues somewhere. So, that's what she represents for. There's always a couple on some reality TV show that represents that era of a woman marrying a man who's twice her age, sometimes maybe three times her age. And somewhere down the line, we learned that there's daddy issues and they're doing that to fulfill. That's why she calls him daddy and everything. It's like there's issues there. So it just, I just can't with them too. I just cannot. I'm like you. They need to get a divorce or y'all need to do something different. Because I don't see this
Mhm.
being love. I just see this as one person controlling and the other person just taking it because she feels she has no other option.
Mhm.
That's all I see. But moving on from there, so next morning, and where is it? Okay, right here. So they're good. They're Gucci and JJ provided breakfast, which I thought was extremely interesting because this is Letitia's trip, mind you, Letitia's trip. And Latrice made a comment that I felt like what was going to happen was Letitia probably said, "Girl, we got to get up and cook breakfast in the morning." Because Letitia said, I'm glad y'all did this because I didn't want to cook no breakfast. My husband would have ate some cereal." So I said, I wonder if Letitia told Latrice, "Girl, we gotta get up and cook breakfast in the morning because we ain't gonna have no chefs." So thank you to Gucci and JJ for providing this wonderful spread. And those chefs did amazing. That food did look great. The shrimp and grits looked great. The chicken and waffles looked great. I loved all of that.
The
Thank
fact that
you.
she hosted a trip but didn't think to have like the breakfast food and I
I'm
don't understand it. New Orleans has some of the best breakfast. Everybody goes to New Orleans. My whole family's there. I love, love, love NOLA. Shout out to everybody there. Love y'all. Whole family's there. Grew up going there every single summer for the whole summer. New Orleans has some of the best food. The problem is people like Letitia like to go to New Orleans and think that it's nothing but Bourbon Street. You got to leave Bourbon Street if you want the good food. You need to leave Bourbon Street, go to the hood. Just make sure you lock your car up real nice, real tight and get you the proper food. You need to hire a chef that is actually from NOLA. That okay, you that's what you need to do. I'm so confused on why Letitia even had them in the Airbnb at the location that they was in. There's just a lot. Like, don't let her plan no more trips. I say you was gonna leave the people hungry for breakfast. She
right.
probably really expected them to find some Cheerios, some frosted flakes. I mean,
No, I told you. I feel like she told Latrice, "Hey, let's get up and cook breakfast for everybody in the morning." I feel like that's what she said. That's why when Latrice said, "See, I'm glad I didn't have to cook because might as well ate some cereal." Because you
but
can
she
tell.
also could have had the mindset of, well, we're going to a brunch, which is generally brunch should be like 10:30 to 1 or something like that. So maybe she was thinking, oh, we'll eat at the brunch. But then I also have to say, if you're planning the brunch and you gave everybody a job, maybe you wouldn't be able to eat. But it looks like once they got to the brunch, everybody was able to get a plate. So, but she has to communicate that as the host. Hi,
All right.
Nikki.
Hi, Nikki C. Thank you for finding us. Thank you for joining. We are happy to have you. We do this almost every other day. I'm glad you love Belle Collective. Be sure to comment here as well. Feel free to tell us anything that you like. We will definitely read your comment and respond to you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Everybody, welcome Nikki C to my channel. Make sure she is welcome and loved, like all the rest of you. Thank you once again. So, moving on from there, they pretty much are, sitting around. Letitia finally got out them braids and put a wig on. I was so happy for that because I couldn't stand looking at the braids anymore.
She
This lady,
messed that up. Whoever did her braids tore her up. I'm hoping that was like a wig because I feel like we don't see Letitia house. I don't feel like her house is clean. I don't. I feel like she has shit just thrown everywhere. She probably got wigs in the bookshelf and hair glue. And I'm telling you, on the side of the couch, she doesn't seem like the type that keep her house clean all the time. Like some dishes in the sink here and there, fine. But like, I feel like shit's just everywhere because that wig looked like it had really like been through something. Like maybe she got into an argument or caught Glenn talking to somebody, threw the wig at him. He rolled it over. That's what it looked like. I don't know what was going on with them braids, but that is not how Goddess Bohemian braids. That is not how braids should look. And if you look at my picture, I'm always in braids. So I just cannot accept when someone like fucks up the church's money with something so simple. Okay. Braids is easy. How? I'm sorry.
yes, it's fine. That was the read I did not know I needed.
No,
Thanks
because I'm
so
getting
much.
tired. Letitia needs a new braider. Melita's available. That's who does my braids. And she needs a faja waist trainer. She needs those two things. This whole time I was looking at Letitia like, girl, why? Glenn, tell your wife.
I want her to do what Antoinette did. Like, you know how Antoinette stopped wearing the wigs? Like, and she's wearing her actual hair. I
Right,
want
just do
to do
it.
something. I want some of y'all women need to wear your own hair. Wear
It's
your own hair.
okay.
Yeah,
It's
it's
okay.
fine. And and if Letitia, if the problem is you don't have no hair, then get you a Fantasia cut and just do that. Like I'm sure that would
Halle
look good on
Berry,
you. Halle Berry,
Fantasia.
yes, get you one of
Hell,
them. But stop
Jesus.
coming on this show. He's a great value. Y'all, I
No,
can't with y'all. I can't.
wait.
So, anyways, y'all, I gotta get home. So they go to the brunch. Stop laughing. Um, I lost my hair 3 years ago. Yeah, she could even do that. But she give me the type that her hair matters to her very much more than anything else. So, this is the best she can do.
That's what I want. I want some micro locks so bad, but it's hard to find people who know how to do it where I live at.
I don't know what that is, but we'll just I know what it is, y'all. I'm just playing. I know what it is, but I just don't I don't as I see this is as long as my hair gonna get for the rest of this year. So anyways, um moving on from there. It's the day of the brunch. Tambra and Selena arrive first because Selena is going to be the greeter, which Letitia, you messy one there. So they get there first, and we actually see Goldie from The Flavor of Love. Now she didn't say anything, and they didn't put no recognition of her there, but I know that that's who that was. And I say, not Goldie from Flavor of Love on Belle Collective, and I missed her the first time. I watched this episode 3 times. I missed Goldie the first time. I said, okay, taking my notes. But then when I watched it the second time, I had text Mrs. Best. I said, did you know that Goldie was on the episode? And she's Mrs. Best. I can tell you what she said, but Mrs. Best wasn't like, oh, okay, and
Hey, listen, I don't give a damn. I'm tired of these Flavor of Love chicks trying to come back up on TV, but I did love Goldie, and I know that she had great success in comedy, and I hope that she continued that success, which she likely did if she was at this brunch. So good for Goldie.
yeah, Jim Bunny, you have to go back and watch it. It was right where Selena and Tambra walked in before the other crew got there. She was sitting at the table, and she was also in appearance where you can clearly see it was her. So yeah, Goldie was in there. I was surprised. I wish she would have said something because I did love Goldie. She was one of my favorites on Flavor of Love when that was a show. But they get there and everyone arrives. We also had Nell and Chris Fletcher in the audience. I was like, okay, that is so random. And I was waiting for Family Empire Houston. I was waiting to see those ladies there, like Nicole and Aunt Nikki and Jermisha. I was waiting to see them. I really was, because I just knew they were gonna be there too. But they weren't there, y'all. I can't wait for Family Empire Houston to come back. So they're giving speeches. We had, limousine service give his speech. We had Nell and Chris Fletcher talk about their businesses. We had Latrice talk about how Letitia talking about how much she's a boss and everything. And during the actual moment, we saw her food stand have three little trays. And I'm just looking at Letitia like, so you need to tell me that all these people came from all over the place for you just to have three little trays of food. Y'all, this brunch was terrible. This brunch was terrible.
All of the brunches are terrible, and all of the brunches will be. What Miss Big Boss and her wannabe boss husband don't understand is part of being a good and big boss means that you have to understand and know when to accept the fact that you don't have the knowledge and to understand when to learn, ask for help, get someone to teach you. These brunches are a fucking joke. I cannot. I cannot. The food be wrong, the locations be wrong. You're basically putting a bunch of people together who are already successful with a few people who are looking to be successful and charging people for that as if it's going to give people the answer or the key to being successful. When as quiet as it's kept, a lot of the time, if you talk to any engineer, entrepreneur, or business person, they work hard because they don't quit. They're always improving. They're always learning. It takes a while. You can't even tell us fully what the hell you do, Letitia. So why the hell am
It's
I
like,
gonna pay somebody? Chitlin Circuit. It probably smell like chitterlings in there too.
ooh, don't
Letitia
even.
needs to just
Oh.
stop with the brunches, and I feel like she keeps them going just because it's one of the few things she's known for on this show outside of bad wigs and a fucked up marriage. Like she's got to hold on to something. Letitia, James said you got your bail bondsman's license. I want to see you doing the things that you really do. We would accept you if you was real. Just stop with the brunches. Stop.
I don't know why she won't highlight that. Like, why she won't highlight that? Or you and Selena both have bail bondman license. Why don't y'all work together and showcase what that's like? Because outside of Dog the Bounty Hunter, we really don't see that too often. So I don't know, but it's weird. So when they get there and everything, Selena, JJ and Suguchi walk in and they see Selena, and automatically JJ is pissed. JJ is pissed. She does greet everybody and says hi to everybody. And then once they're seated, they're at a table with Selena. So Gucci tells Letitia, I got to go. My husband's upset. I got to go. We'll see you guys back at the house. And Letitia said, I'm in her confession, I'm very upset because, she just can't put anything aside for just, a few minutes to be around Selena. And it was like, Letitia, I get it. And I get you trying to produce this moment because it's just so funny that you now are showcasing Selena being at your brunches and doing whatever she does. But this lady has a no contact order and her husband does not want to be around.
No, she does not, because we saw episodes ago that there is no non-contact order. Her
That's right.
lawyer
That's right.
has
Oh,
said that she can be around her. She does not have any order. The thing that I don't like about this is I feel two ways. Letitia, you're wrong because so Gucci, if you filming with her and you on this show with her, like don't do that. And then you also wrong because don't get involved in nobody else family issues and drama if you don't want nobody else involved in yours, right? And then secondly, from that, if you're friends with Soguchi and you're friends with Selena, the best thing you can do is continue to be friends with Soguchi and continue to be friends with Selena. Do not get in the middle of their drama. Secondly, this involves JJ as well as the children and stepchildren of JJ and his wife. This involves Selena's kids. You should want no parts of this family drama, even though it's on camera. Bringing them together, A little shady, but it would have had to happen eventually. The other side of it, I feel like, so Gucci, stop trying to make it seem like JJ is mad, because I believe that JJ could sit there and just not say nothing. She don't have to speak to JJ, Miss Selena, and vice versa. I feel like JJ's anger is one misplaced, and I don't believe all of it. I feel like So Gucci and JJ are just doing whatever they can to try and make Selena look like the problem, but they refuse to acknowledge the fact that you literally spoke her up onto this show. JJ and So Gucci have talked negatively about Selena for a long time, publicly, on and off Belle Collective, prior to them being on this show. So you talk about somebody so much, so negatively, then you took your glasses off and charged at this woman and acted like she wasn't going to do nothing to you. Then you go to court. The court said you full of shit because we watched you charge at her. So we going to drop this no contact order and it's not going to go no further. And now suddenly you won't be around her. If they don't want to film with Selena, then let them leave the show, because I don't personally feel like JJ or Soguchi brings enough to the show to deal with it. Soguchi tends to pick issues with people that make no sense, and she also seems to flip flop based on who's popular, in my personal opinion, in terms of how she interacts with the other Bells. And then JJ has figured out that people like that he says God darn it and think that his hair is gonna keep us. I want to cut one of them ponytails and knockers up out of his head so bad. Like, let them leave, let them do what they do. It was just drama. But Letitia, this why you brought your bunch to New Orleans? Is this why? Is this why? Because Jackson, Mississippi don't take your brunches seriously no more. So you brought them to NOLA. So I just can't. I'm sick of
No,
everybody.
this is why she brought it. No, this is why she brought her bunches to lunch. She goes, I also, and Marie gets there. Marie comes in also. I want to make sure she's also at the table. But she says, I just want to highlight, an entrepreneur. He's had his business for a very long time, and he's there for his community. He feeds the homeless and helps the hungry. He is just an all around stand up guy. So I want to honor Clifford Rogers. Will you come up here? And even Cliff was like, wait, what? And Cliff is dressed very regular, as opposed to Chris Fletcher in the corner over there in his very sharp blue suit.
Chris Fletcher always dressed right.
But I tell you, I love his
He needs to
photography.
help his wife and find her a right wig to wear. Hell, but Chris Fletcher
That
be
girl
dressed
something
right.
else. Yeah, but he was dressed real regular. He was just all like, okay, I wasn't prepared for this. I didn't know she was going to do this. Very given of Nene Leakes here circuit of whatever season. It was that season 6 when Kenya tried to honor her and she had no idea about it. It was giving much that energy. What you talking about, Justice Film? If Sophia wants to make amends with Selena, I think JJ should let her do that. I really don't understand JJ's if I don't like her, you can't like her either attitude. Is very selfish. It
That's
makes me
sort of, I think that's bullshit. That's what I'm saying. I think he's doing that to help So Gucci's image.
wonder if he was the poison that made her feel a certain way towards Selena. Because I already feel like that's really what it is anyway. But
He is. He is. He brought himself on Bring It when the Sunjay and the little girls was on Bring It. We didn't really see JJ around until Star and Sky came on, which was later after they had the girls
Mhm.
had got a little bit older. But he's been around. He's a present father. I feel like So Gucci not being able to be on that show pissed her off. But as his like he's the husband, he should have advocated for his wife to be a part of it. If So Gucci was really driving the babies to dance practice and helping with things like that, like he should have been advocating for people to show the wife and to show the village and all of that. Because they all admit that at one point they were able to all co-parent and get along at one point. I think you are so right with that, James. JJ is not innocent at all. But So Gucci also isn't. I think that's why they perfect for each other to me. They both ain't shit. But yeah, I don't think he has the attitude if I don't like somebody, you can't either, baby. I don't think he has that attitude. But a real wife, even if your husband comes at you like that, like if my husband had children with other people, which he does not, because I'm not a fool, sorry. But if he had kids with somebody else and I was his wife and he had a beef or something and was like, well, I'm not talking to the kids. I'd be like, you are a fucking fool. You better talk to your kids. We ain't seen So Gucci do that until the audience was like, what the hell? So I don't know. I don't like either of them as people or parents personally. I just don't. But we can't expect So Gucci to do the right thing when her own children is a hot mess too. So, you know,
I know you said the word children. I didn't know she had more than one child.
hot mess.
Ain't that crazy? But we'll get to that episode when it comes. Moving on from there. So Cliff makes his little speech. It was nice, and he sits back down. And so after a minute goes around, Letitia wants everyone to go down there and see everyone's pillars of their businesses, what everyone has to offer. We learned that she got a whole dinette set line coming out, which good for her. But when Marie gets down there, Marie looks
Who
around.
has a dinette set coming out?
Letitia.
Are we ever going to see her dining room table that this set would go on?
I don't know. Are we? Carlos,
Why
answer
would
that
I
question.
buy a dining room table set without seeing you cook? That's like, why? I don't understand. That would be like, y'all remember when Paula Deen put out her cookware, and we like, why this white lady got cookware all in Walmart and stuff? And then next thing we learned, she had a show, so we at least knew the white lady could cook. Why would I buy a dinette set from someone who I don't even know and cannot confirm if they have a dining room table? That's all. I'm be quiet. That's all.
Yeah, I'm trying to get together. That was funny because that is so true. I feel that same way. I'm like, why would I buy that when we don't even know where you live at? We seen your house one time this season. Anyways, y'all. So they did Marie's looking around and she said, Letitia, where's my pillar for my business? And where's my signs and everything? I see Latrice's, I see everybody else. Where's mine? And so she finds the I guess I don't know if it's Letitia's assistant. I don't know who that was. But she walks in and she goes, where is my stuff? And Lay said, Marie, you didn't send me anything to put up here. She said, no, 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 no. She goes, I sent everything, Letitia. This is your event, Letitia. You messing up. And she said, Marie, I did not get anything from you to put up here. I would have put it up here if you gave it to me. No. And Marie said, no, 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 no. This ain't how it goes, Letitia. I'm holding you responsible because this is your event. And then walks out. And I said, y'all, I said, Marie, did you send them the pillars of your business? Did you send them, so they could plaster it? Did you send it to them? Because you still have yet to answer that. The lady said she didn't get anything from you.
And the lady works for Marie. Letitia was using Marie's worker to help
Oh,
put
is that
that
what that
event.
was? Oh,
Yes. That's why she went up to that lady, Marie, and talked to her after that whole ordeal because that's Marie's worker who's working and helping Letitia because Marie actually has a business. And so I'm just here's the thing. I work in mental health. Right now I'm working as a social worker. So that shit trying to break me too, hell. But I work in mental health. Marie, if you have a company, like you said that your mother was able to go to your business to get rehabilitative services as it relates to substance use and substance abuse, right? Companies like that, you don't always need to advertise so much. The insurances kind of do the work for you. This is not the event for the type of business that Marie has that I mean, you could advertise it, but people gonna have to go to the primary care physicians, probably get a referral, find out if the insurance accepts that. Like, I'm sure that Marie has a way to get her business going. She also has one of the most, this is sad to say, but she has one of the most sustainable businesses of anybody on the cast because people's mental health is always going to be something that they struggle with. People's mental health is always going to be something that people want to maintain and pay attention to a certain extent. So I understand being upset, not being able to promote your business, but I feel like Marie probably said, listen, I'm gonna let you borrow my assistant or whatever that girl is and y'all could figure it out. And she probably thought, oh, they'll just have my stuff. But Marie said herself last season, Essie handles all of that. She handles all the books and the paperwork and stuff. So maybe because Essie took a step back, she didn't know. I don't know. But it wasn't that deep. And to act a fool like that, if Letitia's really your friend, why would you embarrass her at the event by acting mad like that? You so rich and successful, right, Marie? So this shouldn't phase you. It's a damn poster. Shut the hell up and get your BBL fixed and hire a stylist. That's how I feel.
well, damn. I didn't know you were gonna go that far, but okay. So Everyone leaves the event. All the ladies, with the exception of Selena, go back to the house, and she was just doing way too much. And they're joking with Marie and everything in the Sprinter van. And then once they get to the house, they're met with JJ and Gucci. They're asking how it went and everything. And so the men decide to go out for a drink, and the ladies are going to stay behind and do Gucci's workout. So when the men go to, the bar and they are talking, and Glenn said, I'm disappointed that you and Gucci left. Y'all are, businessmen. I'm trying to become the entrepreneur. And Glenn and Cliff, excuse me, JJ was like, look, that wasn't the place for me to be. That wasn't the place, my ex is in there, and I'm not trying to deal with any of that. I'm trying to avoid her. I'm trying to avoid this because there's stuff that I can say that I choose to keep quiet. And it was like, well,
Keep digging your own hole,
I'm like,
JJ.
well,
Your
why would
kids
that be?
gonna watch that.
It's like, why would that be necessary? It's like, just say, I didn't know she just said, I didn't know she was going to be there. I'd rather us not be in the same space until we can figure this out. We're still family. I still love her. Though still is my kid's mother. But he was just like, just going off the deep end and everything. And I just didn't like that. I didn't. I thought it was very, crass of him to do because one, y'all are out of town. You know that she's on the show by now. So, I don't know. It's just weird. So the
He's
next thing
mad
was,
that she's on the show. That's what it's giving. I feel
mhm,
like So Gucci's probably giving him some type of hell at home, which is frustrating for him. He's mad. He's mad. He's very, very mad that Selena's on this show. You could tell they're pissed. And it's given the energy that Soguchi and JJ have a plan, like within themselves or something, to like, we just gonna walk out every time that they try to make us film with them, and eventually they'll get rid of her. But
right.
it'd be funny if Own turned around and just got rid of them.
Right. They say y'all not showing up, so we just gonna get rid of y'all. That's how this works. So the next thing we talk about is the ladies doing Gucci's workout, and after they're done doing the workout, they then sit at the pool, and everyone's pretty much getting along. Even surprisingly, the Treese and Marie, they're kind of having a little banter back and forth, laughing with each other. And all of a sudden, the doorbell rings, and the teacher said, "Oh, I gotta go get the door." And when she comes back, it's Selena. And everyone's all like, "Oh, Letitia, you messy, messy for this." And of course, Letitia is messy, and of course, she would do this. So Selena joins the group, and they immediately address. Well, more so, Letitia immediately addresses them trying to talk it out. Like she says, "I think y'all should just talk this out." And Gucci was like, "Okay, well, we can talk it out, but I don't want any of y'all here. Can y'all excuse us?" And they said, "Oh yeah, well, excuse you." And I tell y'all, I am Aikisha in this moment. She goes, "Oh, I'm gonna leave, but I'm gonna make sure that my ear is to the door, the window, the wall, because I want to make sure I hear everything that's going on." And that's me too. I'm nosy like that as well, especially when you witnessed what actually happened in between the two individuals. Yeah, I'm gonna be nosy, and I'm gonna peek around the corner like Mary Cosby did, trying to go to Meredith's event. I am exactly that. So everyone leaves, and they look at each other, and we are on a cliffhanger. It's a to be continued. So, Mrs. Best, how do you feel this conversation is going to go? What is your pre prediction?
Um, they'll probably do okay on camera. I think Selena will probably give more attitude. Um, I think Selena gives more real than Soguchi ever will. And so I see Soguchi intentionally trying to stay calm and saying, well, if my husband, I can't control him. I feel like we will hear a lot of that, and a lack of accountability. I don't think that it's going to go anywhere. Why is the ex wife talking to the new wife about drama that's impacting the kids? At this point, the only things I would want to see in a conversation is Soguchi say, I'm sorry that all of this has led to what has happened with your girls and their father. And I don't really know how to fix it, but I want to. We don't need to be friends, or I don't want to be friends. Like, I would love for Soguchi to keep it real also while trying to foster and encourage them to have a relationship with their dad. But it's not going to happen. I don't think that we have to be realistic when watching reality TV. Certain shit, I don't think that we'll ever see the conversation that they need to have. I don't think that they'll ever be able to have on television. I don't think that they are willing to have it right now. The girls are also adults. These aren't kids. Like, Star, one of the twins is married and having babies. Sanjay's grown as hell. Like, I don't think that they're going to have an actual conversation that's productive at all. I think the camera is just doing this and taking advantage of this family's unfortunate, demise for views, honestly. But I don't. Nothing's gonna happen on camera that's real. And they can talk all they want. These girls are grown. The people
Right.
that they really need to talk to, because Selena's irrelevant, as quiet as it's kept. Like, I like Selena. I like that she's here. I've always liked Selena, but JJ has a beef with his daughters right now that's separate from Selena because they feel like he let Gucci do whatever the hell she wants to do. The girls feel disrespected, and JJ and Gucci seem to fucking forget that. So they're so focused on Selena with their hate and their anger and their envy that they talking to the wrong person. So it's not gonna go nowhere. And even if this conversation goes well, James, doesn't matter because Selena's daughters aren't going to magically change their mind and start wanting to talk to their dad and deal with Gucci just because their mom forgives. They're not going to do that. They feel away. But JJ and Gucci, I feel like they truly believe talk to Selena, we'll get the girls back, which shows that you're not actually thinking about your girls. You're just not. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we will see. And, I hope everybody can get back on one page because I hate to see this kind of dynamic do this kind of shift. But Joseph's phones kind of cracked me up.
That's
Not
what
so much
Tambra
because
was saying in the confessional. She said, I hope nobody drowns. They're near water. It's like that's all she had to say. I said, child.
But yeah, but I'm in always high hopes of a family reconciling. I really am, and despite what it is, and despite the drama is in there, I feel
They
like
don't need to reconcile. These kids are fucking grown. I'm sorry. These kids are fucking grown. And not, oh, I'm 18, 19. These kids is over 21. They can drink, they can rent cars, and they can smoke. These kids are grown. And the grandbabies, the grandkids, when Selena was not beefing with Gucci, she didn't want Gucci to see her grandbaby Star, the first grandbaby. So there is something going on with Gucci and JJ. That's why I was saying to James last night, texting after the episode, I think JJ and Gucci are hiding something. They don't want us to know or see what's actually going on, which I can understand and I don't fault them for, but they're hiding something. Because why? Why do your girls feel a way about Gucci even when Gucci was not beefing with Selena? The girls have always had a slight issue with her. And when it's not JJ's kids beefing with Gucci, it's her own kids. At what point do we not realize that Gucci is the problem? And JJ, like the fool that he is, because he chooses to wear his hair that way, is going to stick beside his wife, okay, as he should, but not to the detriment of the relationship you have with your only children. No. So they definitely hiding something. Gucci seemed problematic off camera with the family. She gives me the type of person who got some money and some success and who acts a fool. And it seems to be causing a problem because she is the common denominator.
well, Mrs. Best spoke a word, y'all. This is how I want her to show up. When I tell y'all,
Oh my
I cannot
God. Here
disagree.
you go.
I I I cannot disagree with it. I feel that same way. I feel like there maybe is something. Maybe we'll learn. Who knows? But that was Belle Collective, y'all. It was very simple, very sweet. We were here longer than I thought we would be. But make sure you guys like the video. If you're not subscribed to me, please subscribe to my channel. Also, I wanted to shout out to our new person, Nikki C. Once again, if you're still here, we appreciate you finding us, and I'm glad you enjoy it. I hope you are subscribed to me and come back for more. You're always welcome. And you guys tell more friends to come and join us. Get this chat live up. So we're gonna see if we're gonna do Love and Marriage Huntsville tonight, you guys. I don't know if we'll do it. It depends on what the episode looks like. But if it looks simple enough for me to actually conquer it tonight, then I'll be back for Love in Huntsville.
Don't nothing happen on that
Love and
show.
Marriage,
I'll be
Love and
wondering
Marriage
why you.
Huntsville. Yes.
Nothing happens on that show. You should be able to recap it tonight. Nothing big enough. They're going to talk about the same shit that they talk about. And then they're going to talk about what we watched last week. And then they're going to talk about it some more next week, too.
Oh, dear Roxy, thank you for joining us. So Gucci and Marie can kick rocks. Plus, I was in Salt Lake City this weekend. I met Whitney. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
that's cool.
That's cool. Awesome. I hope she was as sweet as she looked on camera. Thank you, Jim Bunny. I appreciate you, my love. Thank you so much. But yes, but we'll see what Love and Marriage Huntsville gives. So if you guys are still up tonight late, You might get a video. If not, catch it tomorrow. No problem. But yes, we will try to see what goes on from there. And I'm still up in the air with the Salt Lake City reality TV show that just came out. We'll see what that goes. Oh, that's cool. I like that. I love that that's what she's like off the show. I love that. But thank you guys once again for you guys all being here. I appreciate every single last one of you. And I will see you on my next live, you guys. Until next time, bye bye now.